Welcome. We got UFC Fight Night Shanghai this week. It's overall a decent card. The top of the card has a good fight with Umar Nurmagomedov taking on Song Yadong. I don't know if that'll be a super exciting fight, but it'll be a somewhat impactful fight in that division. I'm just gonna jump right in with it. KJ, thanks for joining tonight. How you doing?
Good man, good man. I might go to sleep now, and so I can wake up for this card at 3 a.m. on Saturday morning.
Yeah, it's a tough start time for sure, but they clearly geared this one toward the Asian audience, and there's actually some decent fights. And this first fight of the night, I actually think is a pretty entertaining matchup. We got Meng Dang taking on Cameron Nelson. It's pretty close to a pick'em. Nelson's plus 120 right now. What do you think about this one?
So, I mean, I think that after we kind of spoke about this earlier, after the last, you know, UFC Asia card, uh, a lot of the Asian fighters were losing all the fights. So, even though this on paper is a close fight, I think that they tried to find a banger. And Meng Dang does fight fun. Cameron Nelson, I don't know a ton about him. I know he's from Canada. It's going to be a long travel going out there to fight in Shanghai. But I'm thinking Meng Dang gets this one done. And I actually think he does it by KO or TKO. The odds for that aren't great, but I think that's for a reason. You're going to get that at plus 150, but I like that to start the night or morning with a unit.
Okay, I like that you think there's going to be a finish because the only thing I really came to like on this one is the under 2.5 rounds. I did lean towards Dang getting the finish, but it wouldn't shock me if Nelson came out and found a finish. Like you said, the hometown fighters have struggled on some of these cards in Asia, and this is not a super low level fight, but just one of those fights where it's like anything can happen and it wouldn't shock me. I mean, that's what the odds say too. So I don't have anything groundbreaking on that, but I think it is a banger matchup. I agree with you there. So I do think one of them hopefully finds the finish. And at under 2.5, I think it was actually plus money. I'm checking right now. No, under 2.5 is minus 135. So not you don't have to pay a lot of juice, but it's how I see the fight ending.
I
The
think it'll
second,
get. I mean, that might be a better value bet. I mean, it's not minus 135 compared to plus 150 for strictly TKO for Dang. I mean, you might be riding the better bet there, but I'm gonna hang with mine.
all right, the third fight of the night, so we got Lawrence Louis taking on Hector Santiago. Another somewhat fun matchup, I think. Louis a bigger dog than I expected, but what do you have on this one, KJ?
So yeah, Louis bigger favorite than you expected.
Yeah, sorry.
I agree there. I mean, I think Hector Santiago is pretty well rounded. I think he's a good fighter. But again, I think Lawrence Lee being the hometown guy in this one, I think they're pretty equal. I think the odds are stacked a little bit heavier than they should be, like you said. But I'm going to be parlaying this one with the next fight, but I am taking the Lawrence Lee money line as that first leg.
Okay, I didn't have any pick on this. I kind of agree with you that Lee is a decent parlay piece. I haven't really priced together my parlays yet. He is the side I'm on, and that is the way I'm going to play him. If I do play him, it's just put him in a parlay or two, try to get something close to even money. But that's really all I have. Hector Santiago, I don't have a whole lot on him. I've seen him fight a few times, but I don't know. I do think Lee's just better all over, especially on the ground. So I expect. Oh no, I mean especially in the stand up, he's
Correct.
yeah, he'll be much better on the feet. So I expect him to get the win. The next fight of the night, we got Zhao Long taking on Francesco Nuzzi. Long is minus 180. I actually like him a decent amount in this. I think he'll be the better wrestler. I think he'll be able to dominate. This is another one, though. It's somewhat low level. I don't love my pick. I will put a unit on it, but It's one I struggled to make the pick. I came to, I think it's a somewhat favorable matchup, so I'm sticking with my gut and I'm giving it out long, just minus 180 overall. What do you got in this one, KJ?
Yeah, I think he'll probably dominate, like you said. Like on the field, I just think he's going to be the more aggressive fighter. Nuzzy's not bad, but again, you know, take taking into play where this is being held. And I think he's already kind of a fireball. I think that's only gonna, throw a little bit extra gasoline on that. I don't love it either. I don't know enough about him to love him, but that is my second piece as well. And I think if you put Louis and Long together, you're actually getting plus money. So if you put them together as a parlay, throw a unit on that, you're getting it at plus 110. I think that's a solid bet.
Yeah, I think that is a decent value. Wouldn't shock me if one of them got finished or something happened, but it wouldn't shock me if they both easily win too. So I
And it
don't
wouldn't
hate
shock
that.
me if they both lose. So this way you're getting protected a little bit.
Yeah, that does give you decent protection overall for one that, especially with that last fight, an over 300 favorite, minus 300 favorite.
Correct.
The next fight of the night is, I think you said it earlier when we were texting. I think this has the chance to be the fight of the night. It's a fun matchup. It's pretty close on paper. Sean Woodson taking on Jack Jenkins. I want to see where you're going. I have a pick on this fight, but I want to see where you're at first.
I have a feeling that we're probably on the same page in this one. I think Jack Jenkins is really good. I think he's a good striker. He's decent on the ground. He's got great leg kicks. Sean Woodson doesn't have very uh, muscular legs, we'll say, but I think the X factor in this one's going to be the length. It's going to be the reach, and I think that it's going to primarily be held on the feet. And unless Jenkins, which he could, really utilize those leg kicks, I could see Woodson just kind of piecing him up. He's the better boxer. I like Sean Woodson, and I kind of like him a lot. I'm throwing 2 units on Woodson money line.
Okay, well, you're right. We are on the same side. It was kind of tough for me to get there. I do like Jenkins, but it was the length that I came back to. Woodson is, every time I go back and look at his resume and remember his fights, I'm always like, man, he's better than I think of him in my head. He's actually pretty decent, and I do think he'll be able to find the win. I thought he'd be a bigger favorite when I initially looked at the odds. He was minus 155, and I immediately got some money in because that was one I could see getting bet way up, and it hasn't happened yet. So I was wrong there, but I do like Woodson, and it wouldn't surprise me if he does find a finish. I'm not going to bet it, or at least give it. I might bet it if some of my early bets hit, but I think Woodson will find the win. And this next fight, I'm actually really interested to see where you're at. Oh, actually, not this next fight. This next fight is a somewhat lopsided affair. Ray Tazura taking on Kevin Borjas. I would think that Ray is able to take him down and smash, but Borjas isn't that bad to be this big of an underdog. Do you have anything on this one?
Yeah, I do, and I think I like it. I was gonna just say Tsuria inside the distance, but the difference between that and just picking this fight under 2.5 rounds to get a little protection in case Kevin Borjas decides to come out and just stun everybody. Um, Taking this fight under 2.5 rounds, it's minus 165. That's not bad at all. I mean, if you're minus 850, you should be able to find a finish, I'd hope. So there, that way, he should find the finish. But if Borjas somehow shocks everybody, we're protected. Under 2.5, minus 165. Play it safe.
Okay, well, I have the exact same pick, and that makes me feel somewhat good because this was the other pick I put in as soon as I saw the line. Under 2.5 was minus 140 when I got this in. So this was one that actually did move a little bit the direction I thought. So at least one of my two early reads was correct. I have it the same way. I think he's Tesori. Goddamn, these names I'll never be able to get, but I think I think Ray Tesori will be able to take him down and find the finish. But if for some reason he doesn't and he gets clipped or something, you're covered. And I thought that was a very reasonable number for such a big favorite. I agree.
Yeah, no, I agree.
This was the fight that I'm interested to see where you're at. It's not the closest on paper, but I think it's a very fun matchup. It's Andre Lima taking on Mandori Batbayer. Lima
Yeah.
coming off a tough loss, if I'm remembering correctly. But what do you got on this one, KJ?
So I agree. I think this is a great fight. I actually like both of them. And I'm scared to pick a certain way. I don't think Lima should be that high. Um, so again, this is a safe play. But we're going back to it because we kind of got away from it a little bit and the units started to drop. But we're going to go back to playing these safe. Again, just like the last fight, I don't see this one going to the judges. We're going to play it safe. We're going to go under 2.5 rounds on this one, too. I'd love to lean a certain way just to make a prediction. Lima might get it, but I'm not convinced enough. Under 2.5, minus 165, just like the last one. Throw a unit on that. One of them's going to be a finish. I think both of them will be. So you'll be okay either way.
Okay, well, the way I think I'm going to play it is I'm gonna parlay Lima with Lou from earlier, and I'll probably do a parlay with that under as well, and just in case he gets hit. I do think Lima will find a knockout,
Yeah.
but it's somewhat disappointing loss. He is coming off. He lost to Borjas, who's fighting that fight before his last fight. So definitely disappointed for Lima to lose to him. I know that was his first loss. So definitely not the guy you want to take your zero. So I do think he bounces back and finds a finish. That actually makes me want to bet him even more to inside the distance, but. I'll stick to just those parlays for now. And the next fight is my boy Bilal Hassan from the Contender Series. I had him and what the other guy, I forget the Jets linebacker, inside the first 60 seconds for a 20-1 parlay. So Bilal Hassan started his UFC on the best note possible for me. He's my guy. I really like him to find this. He's obviously a huge favorite. He's minus 800. Nilson Rojas is plus 550. He's also undefeated. I think he has a bunch of first round finishes. I don't really know anything about him besides that. I know Hassan has all the star power in the world, and it seems like the UFC wants him to be a star, so it wouldn't shock me if this guy isn't the greatest matchup, but these are significantly lower odds than he was in the Contender Series. So what do you got on this one, KJ?
So I agree. And if you don't remember, after those fights, we saw that, and I was like, "Wow, I'm really excited to watch them both." What my what scares me is I've seen about 30 seconds of both of them inside the octagon. So Rojas, I haven't seen a bunch of him either, but he's undefeated, and he's undefeated for a reason. And again, this might, be a little bit of a trend here, but I love my pick in this one. Um, Hassan will probably get the finish, right? But we just got shocked on Tuesday night, so we never know what's going to happen inside that cage. If you go under 2.5 rounds on this, it's only minus 175. I don't see it getting out of the first round, but like I said, we're playing it safe. We want to be on the plus side this week. Under 2.5, minus 175, 2.5 units.
Ooh, I like that. So I'm gonna jump on that. I'm gonna throw a unit on that as well at minus 175. But the other two picks I'm going to give is I'm gonna give under 1.5 rounds. That's plus 120. I really like that. I think Hassan will get it done in the first round. And I'm also going to give fight to end in round one is plus 200. I love that. I think Hassan will find the finish pretty quickly. And if for some reason he does get clipped and he gets fraud checked by another undefeated guy with finishing power, you still hit that bet. You actually hit all three of them. So that's one. I guess that's somewhat of like a ladder bet. I got round one, I got 1.5 rounds, and I got 2.5 rounds. So I'm all in on Hassan. I feel like I'm playing with house money after Hassan and Anthony hit that parlay. So I'm going three. I have 3 different bets on this. I have 2 units on him on the plus 200 in the first round. So I'm all over this. It's house money. Went already got me a first round finish since then too. So it's even more house money. Those guys are my guys. Went actually he didn't look as dominant as I thought he would against a somewhat of a layup fight. He did get a first round finish, but I thought he might just come out and win in like a minute or two like he did in his Contender Series fight. And it was a little less impressive, but I don't think we're going to be any less impressed by Hassan this weekend.
I agree.
That takes us to Levi Rodriguez Jr. taking on Lou C. Lou C is the hometown guy, I believe. He's a 6'5" kickboxer. This is his first fight in the UFC, but he comes in as a favorite. KJ, what do you got on this one?
I mean, you're right. He comes in as a kickboxer, but he's fighting a guy that if he had a better wrestling game or a better ground game, then I might go against him. I hate that I keep riding these favorited lines, but I think Lucy, having that length and having that striking background, I just see him getting it done. Will he get it done inside the distance? Most likely. Am I bitching out on this one? Yes. I'm just gonna take Lucy, money line, throw unit at it. I think it's easy money.
Well, this is somewhat boring. I have that exact same fight. I don't have a lot of commentary either. I haven't seen him fight. I just the research I've done, people are very impressed with his stand up, and I think he has the chance to get a finish, and they're trying to build the hometown guy. So that's all I really have. I don't love it. I might even do a half unit, but I want to be on something for this fight, and that's just I decided on.
Yep.
The next fight is a rematch of a fight that got canceled due to a nut shot earlier in the year. It's Sumadarji taking on Alex Perez. I believe these odds were flipped for that last fight, and Perez was somewhat getting his ass beat towards the end, and then he got a nut shot, and he was puking in the cage, I guess, if I'm remembering that correctly. Is that the fight he was puking?
Yes.
Yeah, so they got the no contest, and they're doing the rematch, but the odds are flipped. So it would appear that Suma Durji is a favorite for a reason, since they were just in the cage earlier this year. But what side are you on this one, KJ?
Yeah, I mean, Alex Perez was winning the beginning of that fight, and Sumer Daji took over, and I think Alex Perez, I mean, I've never been kicked like that, especially in that type of situation. So I can't blame the guy too much, but that has to lay on your mental a little bit. I think these odds were, skewed the way that they were versus the first fight for a reason. I like Sumerdurji to get this one done, and I actually think he gets it done inside the distance this time. Inside the distance is about plus 175. I like a unit on that.
Okay, I definitely could see this one getting either guy in this fight getting the finish. So I'm just on under 2.5 rounds at minus 125. I do think it's more likely to be Sumaderji, but Alex Perez is still dangerous. So could he find a sub or a knockout? Yeah, I mean he could find either, and I feel like this is one of the rare fights where either guy could find the knockout or find a sub against either guy. It's not a super high likelihood they find the sub, but neither one of these guys finding one would totally shock me at all. So I'm just doing the under 2.5 rounds. This is the most unders I've ever bet, but I think we're gonna get some finishes.
I love it.
And then now that takes us to Kai Asakura taking on Ari Keeling. Asakura is a pretty big favorite at minus 455. You have anything on this one, KJ?
Yeah, again, nothing exciting. I don't think that, Araki Lang is bad, but I just don't think he's great. I think Kai Asakura gets a bounce back win in this one. I think he's just the better fighter. I think he's the better striker. I think he's the better grappler. I think he probably has the better gas tank. So I like Kai Asakura. I'm going to hold off because I'm putting him in as a parlay piece. He's way too big of a favorite. I don't know that there'll be a finish here. So I'm going Kai Asakura as a leg in a parlay.
Okay, I have Asakura inside the distance. It's minus 185. I just think he's gonna be better. I think he's gonna be able to take him down, put him in a real bad position, either finish him with a ground and pound or found his sub. So I think he'll just this will be a somewhat not entertaining fight. It'll just be complete domination. At least that's how I see it going.
Yeah, I don't see him losing.
All right, that takes us to the co-main event of the night, a fight that I am not very excited for. It's Demis Gomez taking on Zhao Nan. Gomez is plus 120. The hometown Yan is minus 142. KJ, you on anything in this one?
Yeah, I mean, I think Denise Gomes is a pretty good striker. My problem with her is she's kind of short. Jan's coming off a tough loss. She really climbed that into that title picture and kind of got dominated in her last fight. But I think this is a bounce back win for her. I think Jan gets it done. It's not super exciting. Again, my picks, and you'll see with my last one tonight or Saturday morning, I think you're going to win a decent amount of money. Could you lose a lot of money with my picks? Yes. But I think that Jan gets it done money line.
All right, I don't really have anything on this one. If I had to choose a side, I guess I would actually be on the dog. I don't like it enough to even bet it. It's just, this fight just really doesn't do a whole lot for me. And to be honest, that takes us to the main event, which is another fight which, even though I'm a Song Yadong fan, I think this fight has a lot of snoozer potential. Umar just seems to always be in snoozer fights. He never gets finishes. I think he only has 2 finishes in his professional career. I'm sorry, 2 knockouts in his professional career. But he's a giant favorite for a reason. He's really good. Are you on anything on this one, KJ?
I am, again, like you said, like this fight. My pick is boring. I could see Umar just dominating him and me maybe falling back asleep during it. But I think it's 5 rounds of domination. Song Yadong is the better striker, but I don't see him getting the opportunity to really showcase that. If you go Umar Nurmagomedov, who's gonna win, with Kai Asakura, who's gonna win, they're both big favorites. But if you parlay them, you get into about minus 235, which I think's kind of a slam dunk. I'm going 2 units on that. Minus 235, 2 units. You're paying, but that's my lock of the night.
Okay, that probably makes sense.
I'm sorry, that's not my lock of the night, but yeah.
I haven't really decided how I'm going to bet it. I'm on Umar. There's a few ways. I was looking at him actually minus 5.5, which is minus 170. I could easily see him winning 4 rounds and covering that 5.5 easily. So I might play it that way, but I don't know. I might do what you're doing also and just put him in a parlay or 2. I think he's the clear side. I would love for Yadong to find the knockout and for me to lose this bet, honestly, but I just don't think that's realistic.
Yeah. I just don't think he has the grappling, or I don't know if he has the way to get back to his feet enough to find this one.
Yeah, and I don't think he'll be a better striker either. I think his only real chance is I think he would have to just find that shot and be able to find the finish, which would be an electric moment, but it's just not a very likely moment.